First, I would like to thank our beloved principal, Dr. Mazhar Ahmad Faruqi sir, and Professor Arif Pathan sir, convener of this lecture series, for giving me chance to conduct this program. Welcome to 8th lecture of this Dr. Ahmad Zahir lecture series. Today's guest speaker is Dr. Atheruddin Quadri, whose introduction will be given by Dr. Naib Ansari. Let me announce one thing. We have MOU with 3 colleges: Sir Syed College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Shivaji College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Kannad, and JAT College, Malegaon. This is really a proud thing to announce. On that basis, I would like to request Dr. Naib Ansari to introduce today's guest speaker, Dr. Atheruddin Quadri sir. Thank you. Over to Dr. Naib Ansari.
Thank you, sir. Now I would like to introduce today's guest, Dr. Athar Quadri, sir. Dr. Athar Quadri joined Maulana Azad College in the year 1993 as a lecturer at Junior College. He served at Junior College till 2011. He then joined Senior College at the same institute in the year 2011 as an assistant professor in zoology. Sir is also a research guide. One of the students has completed his PhD under his able guidance. He is socially very active and he is also appointed as members of various committees of the college. He has also published many research papers in the reputed national and international journals. Now I request Athar Quadri sir to deliver his lecture series on human common diseases. Over to sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Ansari madam. As our topic is common human diseases, so first I would like to give the definition of literary meaning of the disease. The literary meaning of the disease is not an is, that is a disease, or simply we call it as a condition in which normal functioning of the body is disturbed. That is also called as a disease. Whereas nowadays the medical science and science looks at the every disease to be something which has definitely cause and is possible to prevent or cure the disease. Now, according to the WHO, World Health Organization, that has given the definition of the health, a state of complete physical, mental, and social well-being, and not merely free of disease, is called as the health. Now here the definition is most important. According to the WHO, complete physical, mental, and social. They also included the social, because most of the people are living below the poverty line. So if the peoples are living below the poverty line level, then their health is not good. Or if someone is having the economic problem, then their health is also be affected. Therefore, they included the social well-being, that is most important, that in the definition of the WHO. Now see, these are the two definitions. One is the definition of the disease and another is the definition of the health. So disease is not an ease and health is the complete well-being in the physical character, mental character, as well as in the social character. Whenever the diseases are caused by something, that means on the onset of the disease, there are certain characters or certain effects developed in the body. That means on the onset of some diseases in the body, marked changes are appeared, like rise in the body temperature, change in the heart rate, loss of appetite, that is anorexia, nausea, dryness of the throat, and dryness of the tongue. Then some changes in the composition of the blood and some changes in the composition of urine. These are the most common symptoms on the onset of any disease. Now see here, the disease that are of different types. Sometimes the disease become a syndrome disease. So syndrome is the complexes of the diseases. That is a multiple type of disease that we call it as the syndrome disease. Any disease, whatever the disease may be, which is caused by certain factors or certain agents. We'll see one by one the factors of the diseases. The first important factor of the disease is the biological agents. The biological agents, or they are the living agent that may cause the disease. The biological agents which are causing the disease are called pathogens or microorganisms that include the bacterial disease, viral diseases, protozoan causing diseases, helminth causing diseases, animal bite disease, or any other factor which is related with the life, that we call it as the biological agent of the diseases. Second important factor which is causing the disease is the chemical agents. There are so many types of chemicals which are causing the diseases. These chemicals may be the interior chemical from our body, or the chemical may be exterior, that is from outside the body. The chemical which are present in our body, that may be the enzymes, that may be the hormones, that may be the proteins, whatever the internal chemicals which are causing, say for example, the disease like cretinism. It is an abnormality in the small children's physical and mental abnormality, causing due to the imbalance of thyroxine hormone. So any chemical change inside the body that may cause the disease. Whereas certain external disease causing agents are different type of gases like carbon monoxide gas or nitrogen gas, sulfur gas. I will give you an example of carbon monoxide. So this carbon monoxide is an external chemical that decreases the oxygen carrying capacity of the hemoglobin that we commonly called as anoxia disease, absence of oxygen in the body. Then certain dust particles, metals, all these are the external agents or external factors which are causing the different type of diseases in the human body. Then we'll see certain nutritive factors, nutritive agents. Maybe the excess of the nutrient include carbohydrate, proteins, fats, vitamins, minerals, or the nutrients may be in the form of less quantity, causing the malnutrition type of diseases such as scurvy disease, beriberi disease, night blindness disease, even the hypersecretion of gastric juice in the stomach that leads to acidity. So certain nutritive factors which are causing the disease that we call it as the nutritive agents. Then next agent will be the physical agent. That is a physical factor. The physical factor include heat, cold, humidity, radiation, sound, electricity, etc. All these are the physical factors. They are causing the different type of diseases in the human body. Say for example, the cold wave or heat wave, it is affecting the total metabolic activity of the human body, and that will result in the common cold disease or sunstroke type of disease due to the heat. Then certain radiations, maybe ultraviolet rays, X-rays, beta rays, gamma rays, cosmic rays, all these rays, they may cause the cancer type of disease, which are highly dangerous type. Even the sound that is supposed to be the physical factor, the sound is causing the impaired hearing, and that results in the deafness. So that is the physical factor diseases. Next factor which is causing the disease is supposed to be the mechanical factors. There are so many type of mechanical factors which are causing the diseases, like different type of injuries, any type of injury that is causing the mechanical factor disease. It may lead to the sprain, it may lead to fracture, dislocation of the bones. Such type of diseases are causing due to the mechanical factors. Then the most important factor which is causing the disease is supposed to be the genetic factor. So genetic factor include disorders of the genes, disorders of the chromosomes, maybe in the form of mutation, maybe in the form of chromosomal aberrations, maybe in the form of hemophilia, maybe in the form of sickle cell anemia, maybe in the form of color blindness, atropia, diplopia. Likewise, there are so many diseases which are caused because of the genetic disorders. So these are the most important factors that we call it as the agents which are causing the disease, like physical, chemical, nutritive, mechanical, genetic. Now we'll see the classification of the disease, how the diseases are classified. The branch of classification of the disease is called as nosology. That is a branch which deals with the classification of the disease. Now, based on the infection, the diseases are broadly classified into two main types, such as number one, that is congenital type of diseases, and number two, acquired type of diseases. The first diseases that is caused because of the congenital factor. This is the factor that is present since the birth, or those disease which is present inborn type of disease. That is called as the congenital type of disease. There are so many children which has the congenital type of diseases. Maybe abnormalities of brain, deformities of the limbs, then blue babies, that is a hole in the heart, or sickle cell anemia, or any other genetic disorder. All such type of diseases are supposed to be the congenital type of diseases which are present since the birth, or by birth they are present. Whereas the second type of diseases, that we call it as acquired type of diseases. So acquired type of diseases are those diseases which are not present since the birth, but they can be developed after the birth. That is called as the acquired type of disease. Say, for example, the most common name that we call it as acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. That is acquired disease, acquired immunodeficiency syndrome. The disease which is not present since the birth, but can develop after the birth. That is acquired disease. Then again, the acquired diseases are broadly classified into two main types. The first main type is called as infectious disease, or they are commonly called as the communicable type of diseases. Whereas the other type of diseases are called as non-communicable type of diseases. The first type, that is called as infectious disease or communicable disease. The definition of the infectious disease or communicable disease was given by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch by their theory that we call it as germ theory of the disease in the year 1876 and 77. Now again, the infectious disease or the communicable disease, what does it mean? The infectious disease or communicable disease, that means the disease which can be communicated from one person to another person. Say, for example, the malaria disease, the most common disease that is called as malaria. This malaria disease is caused because of the protozoan type of pathogens, which is transmitted through the vectors. So most of the diseases, that is infectious diseases, again, they can be classified into two more types, such as number one is contagious disease, and number two is non-contagious type of disease. the first type of disease in the infectious type, that is called as contagious disease. What does it mean? Contagious diseases are those diseases which can be transmitted directly from one person to another person, that we call it as contagious disease. These diseases may be caused because of droplet infections, by direct contact to the infected person. Such type of diseases are transferred from one to many, one to another. That is called as the contagious diseases. The most common contagious diseases like leprosy disease. Nowadays, this leprosy disease is not found. This disease has been under control now. For this leprosy, the most known social worker, that is Baba Amte, has been worked for this disease, Baba Amte, and the disease has been completely under control in our country. Now, second type of contagious disease is supposed to be the hepatitis disease. Now, again, this hepatitis are of different types. जिसको अपन commonly पीले की बीमारी बोलते हैं. This disease is scientifically called as cirrhosis of the liver, that is enlargement of the liver. Again, this disease is caused because of toxicity as well as caused because of the pathogens. This disease comes under contagious as well as non-contagious. Particularly hepatitis B infection, hepatitis non-A, non-B infection, and hepatitis delta infection is under the contagious type, whereas hepatitis A, which is a non-contagious type. Then the most common disease, which is the contagious disease, that recently we heard about this disease is SARS disease. That is supposed to be the severe acute respiratory syndrome. Again, it is a complex of the disease. Then MERS disease, previously we heard about this disease. That is Middle East respiratory syndrome. It was a contagious disease that was found in the Gulf country. Now, all these type of disease, the most common example of the contagious disease is the recent disease from which we are suffering since last 1.5 years, that is called as the COVID-19 disease. It's a contagious type of disease. Even the Omicron, that is also supposed to be the contagious type of disease. Now, how these contagious diseases are transmitted from one person to another person? How they are directly transmitted? Diseases are broadly transmitted from one to another by either vectors. Some diseases are vector-borne diseases. Some diseases are vehicle-borne diseases. And some diseases are fomite-borne diseases. Now, vector. What does it mean, vector? Vector means any living which can be transmit the pathogen from one person to another person. Say, for example, A person is suffered by a disease. From A person, the disease will be transferred to B person by any living agent, that we call it as the vector-borne disease. I will give you the most common example of this vector-borne disease. That is the malaria disease. This malaria is transmitting through the mosquito. That is the female Anopheles mosquito transmit the malaria, which is caused by the plasmodium, from one person to another person. Similarly, some houseflies, bedbugs, even cockroaches, or certain animals, they are supposed to be the vectors of the diseases, which are transmitting the disease from one to another person. So such type of diseases are called as the contagious type of diseases. Or even the contagious type of diseases are directly transmitting through the droplets infection, or the diseases are transmitting through the non-living factors, contagious diseases transmitting through non-living factors, that we call it as vehicle-borne disease. Maybe the water, maybe the food, or maybe the clothes, or maybe any other article through which the disease can be transmitted. So that is the contagious type of diseases. Whereas the second type of diseases are non-contagious diseases. So non-contagious disease can be spread only through the food. They can be spread through the air, or they can spread through the water. Such type of diseases are called as non-contagious type of disease. The most common diseases which are non-contagious are supposed to be the hepatitis A infection, जिसको हम पीले की बीमारी बोलते हैं, hepatitis A infection. It is a waterborne disease, and it is the epidemic disease. Then cholera disease, typhoid disease, all these are the waterborne disease, and these are supposed to be the non-contagious type of diseases. Though they are infectious, though they are communicable, but these diseases are non-contagious type. They are not directly transmitting from one person to another. Now we'll see the second type of acquired diseases, that is called as non-infectious disease. The non-infectious diseases are again different types. Say for example, deficiency disorders. Now this deficiency disorder is restricted to particular person. It is not transmitted from one person to another person. If someone suffering from protein deficiency or vitamin deficiency, then that disease is restricted to that person only. It is not transmitted to another person. That is a deficiency disorders, like the Kavarshikov disease, then carbohydrate protein deficiency disease, malnutrition diseases, night blindness disease, beriberi disease, scurvy disease, ricket disease. All these are the deficiency disorders or deficiency type of diseases. Even in the women's, the most common deficiency disease, that is called as osteoporosis, causing due to the deficiency of calcium. Females are most commonly suffered after the age of 30 years by the osteoporosis. This is the deficiency disorder. Now, second type of non-contagious disease is degenerative disease. Now, this degenerative disease is related with the age factor. There are so many diseases which are related with the age that we call it as the degenerative type of disease. I will give you some example of the degenerative diseases. The most common degenerative disease that the people are suffering nowadays, that is Parkinson's disease. It is due to the degeneration of choroid plexus in the brain region. Then arthritis disease, that we commonly call as the rheumatic arthritis disease. It is causing due to the deficiency of synovial fluid, which is present in the long bones or in the freely movable joints. So that fluid quantity can be decreased, or sometimes the cartilage may be degenerated, and that leads to the arthritis type of disease. Then again, the degenerative disease related with the coronary vascular diseases, that is called as arteriosclerosis, decreased elasticity of the blood vessels, arteriosclerosis. It may lead to increased blood pressure, high blood pressure, decreased lumen, causing tachycardia, that is an increased heartbeat. So likewise, all these are supposed to be the degenerative type of diseases. Then some of the diseases are caused because of the allergies. The people are suffered by different type of allergic disorders. Maybe dust allergy, maybe pollen grain allergy, maybe the allergy of fur of some animals, maybe the cat fur allergy, maybe the dog fur allergy, maybe the bird feather allergy. Likewise, so all these allergy diseases are causing due to the immune deficiency of the immune system, that is causing the different type of allergic disorders. Then next type of non-infectious disease. Now allergy is also non-infectious. It is restricted to a particular person. Suppose a person is suffering by the disease allergy, that A is only suffered by the disease, B will not be suffered. Then tumor type of disease. There are different type of tumors. Maybe the benign tumors, maybe the malignant tumors. Mostly the benign tumors are supposed to be the non-cancerous type of tumor, whereas the malignant tumors are supposed to be the cancerous type of tumors, that is non-infectious. They are not transmitting from one person to another person. So these tumor, it is basically the type of cancer. And again, the cancer type of disease is non-infectious type. This cancer disease may be caused because of so many factors. More than 300 such factors are there which may cause the cancer type of disease, which are broadly classified based on the cancer which is developed in what type of tissue. Maybe carcinoma type of cancer is a type of cancer which is developing into the epithelium tissue or epithelium lining of the body. Then adenocarcinoma type of cancer, which is developing in the glands of the body. Any type of gland cancer, that is called as adenocarcinoma type, and that adenocarcinoma type of cancer is malignant type of cancer that can be spread throughout the body. So such type of disease are the tumor disease. They are the cancerous type of diseases. Then some diseases are chemical metabolic disorder diseases, that is non-infectious type of diseases. For example, the abnormal secretion of the hormone called insulin, that is resulting in hyperglycemia or hypoglycemia, that we call this disease as diabetes disease, or in scientific term we call this disease as diabetes mellitus disease. Then deficiency of ADH hormone, antidiuretic hormone, it may cause polyuria type of disease. It's a metabolic disease. तो जो diabetes disease है, it is non-infectious, causing due to the metabolic disorder, or it may cause due to the abnormal hormonal secretion. So such type of various type of diseases, they are causing maybe the contagious type, maybe non-contagious type, maybe communicable type, maybe non-communicable type. Likewise, there are so many agents, so many factors that we classify differently. Now, some diseases I would like to explain you, which are most commonly spreading in community, particularly the epidemic type of diseases. So epidemic type of disease, that may be typhoid disease, that may be hepatitis disease, or that we call jaundice disease. These are the epidemic disease. Waterborne disease. Many people are suffering by the same. Even the amoebiasis disease, that we commonly called as the amoebic dysentery or loose motion, diarrhea, such type of common diseases, nausea, vomiting, these are seasonal diseases. So such type of diseases, so these diseases are caused because of the contamination of the water. Say for example, the disease amoebiasis. This disease is caused by the contaminated water, contaminated food. Now, how this contamination of the water and contamination of food takes place? You know, in our country, it's a common practice that most of the people in the early morning go and sit out for the defecation, for passing the stool. They can sit outside their homes. Then through the fecal matter, or in the fecal matter, if the Enta-amoeba histolytica parasite is present, that parasite through the soil, that can be enter into the water of the rivers, water of the lakes, or sometimes the peoples are having very bad habits that they can increase their nails, and after defecation they will not wash their hands properly. If such type of dirty hands are there, and such type of hands or such type of contamination takes place, or say for example, some of the houseflies are sitting over the fecal matter or on the feces, and again they come back in the home and they can sit on some food products, then that food becomes contaminated and we may suffer by the disease like amoebiasis or loose motion. So it is again the vector-borne disease. That vector may be the housefly, or vector may be water, or it may be vehicle in the form of water or food. So such type of diseases are transmitting from one person to another person. Therefore, as the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says, cleanliness is the half iman. If we are maintaining our surrounding clean, if we are washing our hands properly, then we may not suffer by different type of such diseases. Particularly, the communicable disease will not be transmitted if we are maintaining our personal hygienic as well as the surrounding hygienic condition. Therefore, since last few years, the government is trying to maintain the cleanliness drive in different type of cities to maintain the health of the people, or to prevent the communicable type of diseases. So these are the most common human diseases causing because of the pathogenic factors, causing because of the chemical factors, maybe external, maybe internal, causing because of the nutritive factors, causing because of the physical factors, causing because of the mechanical factors or genetic factors. All these, they are causing the various type of diseases. Now, so here, I think I should stop, and I would like to make this session interactive. If someone having some question, then ask me, please. If someone is having any question related with any type of disease, then please ask me. No questions? Okay. So I am highly thankful to our beloved principal, Dr. Mazhar Ahmad Faruqi, for giving me an opportunity to deliver lecture in front of you. I am also thankful to Dr. Arif Pradhan sir, Dr. Sultan sir, Aditi Bhattacharya madam, and all the participants for joining me. Thank you very much. Thank you, Ashfaq sir.
Thank you, Athar sir. You have granted your topic to powder form and in a simple language. Now I would like to request Dr. Taranum ma'am to propose vote of thanks.
Good evening. Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Myself, Dr. Sheikh Tarannum Tanveer. I am grateful to propose vote of thank here. First and the foremost, I am thankful to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for showering his blessings on all of us. Alhamdulillah. I express my gratitude to Honorable Principal, Maulana Azad College of Arts, Commerce and Science, Aurangabad, Dr. Mazhar Ahmad Faruqi sir, for arranging this Dr. Ahmad Zahir lecture series, and this will definitely helpful for all of us, as we all are getting an opportunity to deliver an online lecture, and surely we are learning by this. I express my sincere thanks to Vice Principal Professor M.A. Bari sir for his support and guidance. I am thankful to convener and the director of Dr. Rafiq Zakaria Center for Higher Learning and Advanced Research, Professor Arif Pathan sir, for the technical support and guidance. I'm thankful to coordinator of the lecture series, Professor Sayyid Sultan sir, for their enthusiastic support. I extend my sincere thanks to our colleague and today's speaker, Dr. Syed Atheruddin Quadri sir, for delivering informative lecture. This topic was very broad and easy to understand for non-science people also. I express my sincere thanks to Professor Naib Ansari ma'am from Sir Syed College, Aurangabad, for briefing the biodata of today's speaker. I express my gratitude to IQSC coordinator of Maulana Azad College, Professor Aditi Bhattacharya ma'am, for their moral support and guidance. I extend my sincere thanks to our head Department of Zoology, Professor J.D. Sheikh sir, for their precious guidance and support. Last but not the least, I am grateful to all the staff members, students, and the participants for their patiently listening this lecture. Thank you one and all. Jazakallah khair.
Thank you.